Hello and welcome to day 3 of the December colouring challenge. Today's illustration has creatively been titled A Big Present. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, I'm Alex from Midpip. I'm an illustrator based in New Zealand and I challenged myself to colour and record a drawing every day in December. I typically use Copic markers to colour in these illustrations, but I didn't have a pale red colour that I could use in this illustration, so I've chosen to use a Faber-Castell brush pen instead. This is number 121 and it's called Pale Geranium. It's not the ideal pen to be using in this drawing because I've noticed that it dries really quickly and it's leaving line marks. Today's drawing is a very simple illustration and it was heavily influenced by Lucienne Day's work. She was a British designer of textiles in the 1950s and 60s. She's most famous for her calyx fabric design. It was a very abstract flower pattern with a lot of geometric shapes in it. Because the design is 1950s inspired, I also went with a 1950s colour scheme, so these colours will be a bit more muted than usual. One of the ways to achieve that is to tone down the colour that you're going to use. So with this blue, I'm going to start with a base of warm grey number 3, and that will dull the colour of the blue that I put down later on. We would now call this style a retro 50s pattern, but at the time it was considered very modern and almost space age themed. If you imagine the TV show The Jetsons and living in space and in the future, that's what those designs were all about. So you can see here that I'm now laying down the blue. The original colour is called lapis lazuli and that's a very bright jewel toned blue, but now it will be darkened. It's really interesting to see the influence that technology and science had on art at the time in the 1950s. They got very adventurous with their pattern design, especially in kitchenware and wallpapers and things like that, and what they imagined we would all be living like in the space age. These next two shades are very light, so I've had to double them up. The first one is called Pale Green, and the payoff on this is not very much. It really absorbed very quickly into the paper and it was a lot lighter even than I imagined. The paper I'm using is called Fabriano. It's a Bristol paper. It's 250 GSM, so it's really thick. It's also a smooth paper. One thing I'm noticing with this drawing today that didn't happen with my other drawings is that the ink is lifting a little bit when I'm colouring in. I think it's because I just printed it on a home printer rather than getting it professionally printed. It's not an ideal situation to have with this light colour because it's sort of muddying the green a little bit. To avoid it as much as possible, I'm trying to avoid the stars because they seem to be lifting the most. I'm now going in with the second colour. It's called Mignonette. Mignonette is a herbaceous plant with small pale yellow-green flowers. It comes from the French word mignon, which means dainty or small, and I think it's quite a fitting name for this colour. And luckily it seems to be coming to the rescue and covering that pale green quite well. It was quite insipid before, and now I like the clash between the yellowy green and the pale red colour. Just like yesterday's drawing, this illustration is also a detail taken from my Simply Christmas colouring book that is available on Amazon. I think about half of these drawings in this December colouring challenge are original and about half of them are based off that book. If you're interested in checking it out, I've put a link in the description for you to have a look at. This colour is called Coral Sea and it carries on the 1950s colour scheme. This shade of teal green was used frequently in the 1950s, both in textile design and in kitchen design. To our eyes, the 1950s colour schemes were often not very harmonious looking. They weren't afraid to use colours that clashed and were quite harsh. I had to take a break from recording this voiceover due to roadworks outside, so I can't remember if I've already said it, but thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy colouring in something yourself today as well. We've come to the very end of the illustration, and for this ribbon I chose cadmium red. It is a very deep and rich red. Although this video is about 6.5 minutes long, this drawing took me about 15 minutes to do in total in real life. I sped it up a bit for you. I wonder if you would enjoy getting a present that was gift wrapped like this. It's quite a sophisticated colour scheme. I definitely don't wrap my presents to this level of precision. How about you? And that's it for today. That's day 3 of the December colouring challenge. Hope to see you again tomorrow.